Hey, this is Perch. Nostalgia. Let's talk about nostalgia. No, not the Watchmen drug, but the idea of tapping into fond things in the past, when you should do it, when you shouldn't do it, and can you burn through it? Can you blow up your own past? Hey, this is Perch. Uh, you know, one of the things that the big two companies do, Marvel and DC, a lot of the time, is that they'll tap into their past. They'll tap into things that sold well, and they'll resurrect these issues and bring them back up and have a return to the Age of Apocalypse, and it's time to remember Blackest Night, and kind of these kind of things that are designed to make some more money off something that made some money before. I mean, it's funny. I was at a comic convention, and some writers were talking about how, we want to remember these fond events in the past, these big things in the past, and we do sequels to them, and we bring back those moments, not because we're trying to make money, but because it's our love for comics and the fans. So we want to revisit these things. And I remember like, you're so full of crap. I mean, granted, I hope you're doing these things with love. I hope you're doing these things as a way to kind of remember the past and give something back to the fans. Cool. That sounds great. At the same time, it is not nostalgia. So you're doing it to make money. That is the reason you're doing it. Nobody's green lighting. Let's have a retrospective on Secret Wars 2, with the Beyonder in that '80s jumpsuit. People are not doing that. You do big nostalgia events to make money. That's why it's done. And there's nothing wrong with making money. I think a lot of people say that like it's a dirty word, like, oh yeah, I'm making these. You don't make these stories to make a profit. Like, yes, you are. That is why you're doing it. This is a business. This is capitalism. Things that don't sell, or frankly, one way people should start looking at this is that clicks and eyeballs equals money. Attention equals money. Maybe not money to you, but when you go on Twitter and you post something, and you got all the people who are with big proponents of socialism, and they go on Twitter and they post their tweets, and then they hunt for the likes and the retweets, and they want that attention. You're just keep in mind you're still after currency. The currency is attention. The currency is likes and retweets and numbers, follower count. That's still a currency. If you were a true socialist, you just post your stuff up there and not care if you had 0 followers or 10,000 followers. You would not care. But anyway, um, I think that I got a bit astray in there. But you look at events like the 2099 event that just concluded out of Marvel, and 2099 is something that was popular. It was kind of a pre-Ultimate Universe where they carved out a new thing. They put some familiar but not quite the same characters in play, and it did well. The comics sold well. You had some foil covers, and everything was great. It was a very 90s thing. And so now, hey, let's go back, let's revisit, let's do a storyline in that time period and everything else. The problem is that there are not enough new things being created today to feed the nostalgia of tomorrow. I mean, in 20 years, are we going to get another visit to 2099? We probably will. Let's just say we will. There has to be some care and some effort built into either new things or the nostalgia so you can basically perpetuate this machine. Because right now, unfortunately, a lot of the nostalgia bait that both DC and Marvel have done have dealt and come across a lot more like a cash grab, which is always at the bottom of everything, like I said, and less like something people should spend the money on. If you want to grab the cash, then you need to have people giving the cash. Like if you destroy the people giving the cash, there won't be any cash to grab. Then you got troubles on your hands, and that's the problem that we've got right now with a lot of things. I think in comics, the nostalgia is wearing mighty thin. They've burned through quite a few different major events, things that are beloved and in the hearts of fans, and they haven't replaced them with enough new things. And I think that's where a problem sits in. And this is true with movies as well. The whole J.J. Abrams Force Awakens and even the new film. I mean, it was designed to key off of nostalgia, And what's not happening is a new creation of the world. I mean, The Mandalorian is doing very well, but one of the reasons it does well is because it is putting in a lot of little, chunks of bait to make you feel nostalgic. I mean, even Baby Yoda is a nostalgic hook, just like the use of some of these familiar faces and different aliens. I mean, they're doing it smart. That's what The Last Jedi should have done, is leaned more into that. And I'll give Ryan Johnson credit. He stated, I don't want to just give the fans what they're asking for. I want to try and create something new, subvert expectations. And he's not all wrong. The problem is, okay, if you're going to do that, and you should do that, you need to do it well. There's no sense in creating something new or subverting expectations if you suck. And that's been the Star Wars problem, or at least the Ryan Johnson problem, I would say. That's the part in all the interviews that just like nobody's kind of saying that other part. It's like, okay, I'm with you. Good for you. All on board. Subvert expectations. Create something new. Granted, Star Wars needs some new things, so nothing wrong with that. Great, but it wasn't good. It was not good. That's the problem. Your strategy was sound, the quality was bad. But at any rate, this is a problem with comics. Nostalgia is being burned through very, very quickly. There's definitely issues in our future if that's not corrected. But I think that the solution is like I said, take your time, craft a story, make sure you've got a heart of a story there first before you go zooming off into let's remember 2099. And another thing I would just point out: read the stories. Like it's not enough to go to the Wikipedia pages because you gotta you got a little assignment to do something 2099. You're gonna have to actually read the comics. And I think it's clear when you see something like how Hickman did House of X, Powers of 10, that he read the comics. And it's clear, we read a lot of the comics to go back and tell that story. And it's clear that other writers have not always done that. The 2099 stuff did read a lot of the times like the people kind of just read the Wikipedia entry and didn't actually get the spirit or the flavor or any of that. So anyway, my opinion. What's your opinion? Do you like nostalgia? Do you like those comics? Do you think they're running them into the ground? What would you like to see? Leave me a comment. Would love to have that. You can follow me over on Twitter at Comic Perch and put your comments over there if you like. And like, subscribe. Always, those are nice things to do. But most importantly, the nicest thing to do is listening. And you did that. So thank you very much.